Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Heavy Metal Devils. This is the Football Focus, my weekly show that I am just dropping today. So, I'm going to be doing this every Monday from 7 p.m. to probably around 8 p.m. every Monday. Going a bit early today because Manchester United do play Wolves at 8 p.m. So I wanted to let everyone head off to their favorite either watch along or go watch the game because I won't be doing a watch along for this game. I will most likely be doing one for next week against Spurs. So anyway, everyone, welcome to the Football Focus, where we're going to be talking, Manchester United football and a bit of a Premier League wrap up. So that's going to be what we talk about on a weekly basis. So, anyway, how's everyone doing? Hope you're all having a good day. So, should we just get into it? I don't want to keep people going too long because I know we play very soon. And just as soon as the Wolves or the Man United Wolves lineup comes up, yep, Amrabat. I'm already seeing Amrabat and Pavard. Don't worry, we'll get to Amrabat and Pavard very, very soon. We will be going over the Manchester United lineup against Wolves as soon as that drops in about, I, don't know, I think it's about 20, 25 minutes or so. But let's get right into it. Let's start with Harry Maguire. So we all know last week Harry Maguire agreed. Well, Harry Maguire did not agree. Manchester United and West Ham agreed for a fee on Harry Maguire, a 30 million pound fee. So now the issue is with West Ham and Harry Maguire at the moment. Harry Maguire does not look like he wants to sign at the moment. He's contemplating signing. He's not sure at the moment. He is wanting to fight for his place, but an interesting thing came out today from the presser. I think actually the presser started on Friday, and we're just getting the recordings today. So Eric Ten Hag did say that he does like Harry Maguire and he does need to fight for his place. But if he cannot fight for his place, he does need to leave. That's basically Eric Ten Hag giving a very polite way to Harry Maguire, saying you kind of need to go. You don't really have a spot here. Um, so I don't know. Tell me what you think below about Harry Maguire. Do you think 30? Why are we playing the? Oh, I get what you mean. Delaying game in all of our signings. Yes. Sorry, my bad. I thought you meant the game was delayed. Um, I don't know. We're just really good. We are. I would say we are the worst club in the Premier League around selling players. I thought this year delaying our buys haven't really been too delayed. We got actually everything in before August. We don't tend to do that a lot in the past. We've had a lot of panic buys in August and towards the end of the transfer window. So I'm not too mad about what we've done in purchases, but you are right. When it comes to sales, it's atrocious that it gets delayed. And we're going to get on to more delays. This Harry Maguire one is not the only one being delayed. But this is not because Manchester United are delaying it, though. There is a small rumor that we are trying to get a new center back in before we let Harry Maguire go. I don't believe that's the case. I think the case right now is the personal terms with West Ham and Harry Maguire. I do see this transfer happening. I think relatively soon, probably by next weekend. He's going to want to get into that squad soon. It's just getting that payout from Manchester United, which looks around 6 million quid, maybe 7, 8. It was rumors around 10, but what I am seeing right now is around a 6 million quid buyout to Harry Maguire and agreeing those personal terms with West Ham. But he will go. We need that money to get into some of the guys you were mentioning a bit later on here. Another delay, actually, I think all of these sales we're going to talk about are all delays, is Donny van der Beek. Donny van der Beek and Real Sociedad look to have set a loan. It looked like he was going there on loan. It was all almost like a done deal. I think Fabrizio Romano was even reporting about it last week. But I don't know what's happened. The deal has collapsed. It could have been due to maybe personal terms. Maybe it was a loan to buy thing. I'm not sure why this has collapsed, but there's been a new club in for Donny van der Beek. This is going to be another loan, and that is Ajax, his old club. He does need to go. He is on the list of players we need to go. Apparently, He's not doing. I don't know why I say apparently, but he's not doing the greatest at Manchester United. I don't know why I said apparently. We all know this. Um, sorry, long day today. But Ajax look to be in for this player. Nothing going on with Spain right now. Yeah, I don't know. Charlie McNeil, I'm not too sure yet. Hugo, I can see Hugo. I wouldn't mind seeing Hugo in an FA Cup match or like a Carabao Cup match against one of the lower opposition. I actually wouldn't mind that. Or maybe come on in the last 10 minutes of a game that we're absolutely dominating. That would be nice. I'm not sure about Charlie McNeil yet. I don't think Eric Ten Hag really rates Charlie McNeil. Didn't even bring him on the tour. And yeah, haven't really seen much of Charlie McNeil to be honest. I don't mind a Joe Hugel. Thought he did pretty well on tour in my honest opinion. Anyway, Donny van der Beek looks to be going to Ajax. There's not really much to be said about that. We all know he needs to go. Hasn't really worked out. Don't think he's going to get a permanent sell. This is going to be maybe a loan to buy to Ajax. I don't really have much to say about Donny van der Beek, to be honest. So West Ham. Let's get back to West Ham. It seems like West Ham are in for all of our unwanted players. And another player that could be on that list is Anthony Martial, which is an absolute shocker. I'm actually surprised that anybody would be in for Anthony Martial. I don't see this transfer. I don't see us selling Martial at all this season. I can see him maybe next season or in January being sold. He needs to prove first that he can play. No, the game is not. I don't think it is live on Manu TV. It's going to be live, I believe, on TNT or is it Sky? One of those. MUTV is preseason only, I believe, but TNT or Sky Sports can't remember what station it's on. I believe it could be TNT. Most of the other games this weekend were TNT. TNT is now BT Sport, by the way. They had like a whole rebrand, and they're now TNT. Um, yeah. Anyway, Martial, West Ham. This is a very, very odd one. I don't see why any club would be in for him. I think he needs to prove his fitness. He needs to go on a run of games where he doesn't get injured. And in all honesty, I'm not against him staying a bit longer at this club until January, until maybe we can get in a new striker. If hopefully, who knows, maybe we'll have new owners by January. Um, we'll get into that probably towards the end today because there's been some more bullshit about the whole sale process. I did some news on it this morning. If you watched it, you know what I'm talking about. But maybe we'll have some new owners by January time where we can buy a proper backup striker. Maybe if Rasmus Hoyland is really, really kicking it off, or we can buy a good first team striker, not a backup. Maybe the likes of yeah, that's what I'm saying. He needs to prove his fitness. He needs to have a string of games. So maybe if he can play from now until January, I have no problem with that. And Marshall can go in January, but we can't really sell him when we don't have anyone to replace him at the moment. Unfortunately, I don't think Joe Hugel and Charlie McNeil um, can really replace like can't really play in the Premier League at moment. Maybe Joe Hugel, but I don't think he is ready yet. And Rashford really does not want to play down the middle. He said on that Gary Neville I think interview he did not really like playing down the middle and prefers to play on the left. So I think we just need to get him moving, but not until January because we've spent a lot. We've had some financial fair play issues this offseason. So January, Anthony Martial can go. We bring in a proper striker, maybe a Kolo Muani, um, someone around that level. I don't see us going for like a Osimhen in January unless we get maybe like a Sheikh Jassim and he wants to make a major statement and goes and gets a striker like him. Don't talk about Mbappe to me. Don't bring these guys. I don't want those guys at the club, but an Osimhen maybe. It all depends what our funds and who might be owning us in January. But anyway, Anthony Martial to West Ham, very interesting. I don't see it happening. I don't see why it would happen. He needs to prove his fitness. Anyway, let's go on. Let's keep moving. Yeah, we've talked about Amrabat. Oh no, we haven't talked about Amrabat. We talked about Maguire, not Amrabat. This Amrabat deal at the moment, guys, is I'm not sure at the moment what's been happening with that. It's really, really died off. We all know we want him at the club. We need him. I'm just starting to get a little bit nervous about what's going on with Liverpool, even though they did sign. I think they've agreed to sign Lavia for 60 million today. So maybe that puts them off Amrabat. But I'm just also getting starting to get a bit nervous about our sales. Like nobody wants our players, dude. We sold Fred for eight like pennies. I think it was like around 10 million. We're going to be loaning Donnie. We don't know if Maguire is going to go. We don't know if what Eric Bailly is going to go for the 50p he's going to be sold for. It's just a mess. He does want to come, and he's just waiting for that call. I do have a hunch that even if we didn't sell everyone we were looking to sell, I think we'll still find a way to sign him. I don't know how. Maybe that will be with just maybe not giving him a huge wage and giving him a nice bonus, signing on bonus. I'm not sure, but I think they will find a way to get him in. But we do need to get players out. Yeah. So Amrabat has been a bit dead this week. There's been rumors about him going to Liverpool, rumors about him also preferring to go to Atletico Madrid. I think those are all false. I think those are all about trying to get him speeding up the process to Manchester United. And we can't, it's, we can speed it up. We're just the worst sellers I've ever seen in my life. So it's all about sales, and then we'll get to the Amrabat business. It's been a bit it's been horrible with sales. It's been a bit depressing. I've seen a lot of people really rate our transfers window so far quite highly because we made quick signings in the summer with Mount, Hoyland, and Onana. But if you actually look at the business done, we needed to make a lot of sales. We haven't really made any significant sales yet. We've done players for under a million, around a million, a couple million, 4 million. It's been a bit pathetic, and it has been like that for a very long time. It's quite shocking when Daniel James is like your biggest profit earner in sales over the last like 10 years. It's insane. Um, Yeah, Ed Woodward and the banker, a good businessman, my ass. Glazers, good businessmen, my ass. Um, it's ridiculous. Anyway, let's keep going. Should we talk about defenders now? So I'm kind of speeding through. I don't want to keep people here too long just because we got a game soon, guys. We got a game, first game of the season. Who is excited? I am. So yeah. Anyway, let's talk about some defenders. So Pavard for Bayern Munich. It looks like it's basically just us negotiating with Bayern Munich now. He wants to come to Manchester United. We need another defender. I don't know. Between you and me, guys, I don't trust Raphael Varane. Yes, he is an absolute he is a Rolls Royce of a defender. It's just sometimes that Rolls Royce, the wheels fall off a bit. I mean, he gets a bit injured all the time. So I would love a good backup. I don't think he would want to play backup too much. I can see him playing more than I think people think. A lot during the Premier League. I would actually leave Rafael Varane to be our Premier or not our Premier League, our Champions League defender, which I expect us to do quite well in the Champions League this year. But if I don't think he can handle both, and I don't honestly trust. I like Victor Lindelof, but if he needs to play for a long period of time, I'm just not too sure. And not to mention, Martinez had a big injury last year. So if that happens again, or if he just re-aggravates that injury, we need a very solid backup defender. And the fact that he can play right back. Now, he said he's not a huge fan of playing right back. He prefers to play center back, and a move away from Bayern would want to be to play center back. But he could also fill in on our right back role if we are really, really struggling there. But yeah, I'm actually in for Pavard. I'm in more than is it Tolisso and It's Todibo. Um, Not Tolisso. I'm leaning towards a Pavard than more than a Todibo. Yes, Todibo is young. I think we could always grab him maybe next year if he doesn't move on a club this offseason. Pavard to me is just a bit more experienced. He seems a bit more built for the Premier League. He's just like a been there and done that guy. He's won the World Cup. He's won the leagues with Bayern. I need people and we need guys at our club with that winning mentality. And he is a good person to have that. People like Casemiro, Varane, um, Bruno's getting that. These very experienced people that have kind of been there, won stuff, and done it. We lack that mentality in our team at the moment when in the Premier League. You've seen what happened at Liverpool and City last year. We just need players with that hunger in the team. We cannot let results happen like that happen again. It's embarrassing. So that will be Pavard. Todibo, I'm not too sure about. We sent scouts now to go watch him the other day play, I believe for Nice, which is also interesting with the Sir Jim stuff. I don't think that really has anything to do with each other, but Sir Jim owns Nice. Todibo plays for Nice. Sir Jim wants to buy Manchester United. I see where people are linking it, but it doesn't really, I think they don't have anything to do with each other. The club just does club football. And yeah, I think Todibo's a good guy, like a good defender. He's young, plays for France. He has been capped, I believe, for France. But I think he does lack the experience that Pavard has. I wouldn't be mad at getting Todibo. I think he'd be an excellent, excellent addition to the team. Um, but if I had my choice, I'm getting Pavard. Todibo comes next year if he does stay at that club. We all seen that we were in for Disasi, we were in Kim Min Jae. They all left for different clubs. So maybe Eric Ten Hag does not want to risk that. And he wants to go for a younger, kind of more unproven, but a younger, up and coming potential player. And I'm all about that, man. I'm totally cool with that if that's what he wants to do. Um, I just like I said, I just really worry about our defenders. Sorry, I'm just trying to get ready to get that Manchester United whoop, 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 whoop. Manchester United team sheet when that comes out in the next 6 minutes or so. Dude, I'm fucking pumped, man. I'm so pumped for this game. The thing is, sorry, I'm just gonna go off a bit. It's because not talking about transfers for a second. I'm pumped for this game, but I'm also not pumped for this game. You know why? Because we play Wolves like 85 times a season. And every single time we play them, it's boring. It's really boring. It's one of the most boring games of the season. It's always like a nil-nil or a 1-0. I think we finished with a 2-0 last year, but even that wasn't a very exciting game. So I'm hoping it's different. Now that we have a very exciting keeper, newer players coming in, um, our style can be implemented a bit more. And they even lost players, so they've got to play a different way. I'm hoping for a less boring game. I do think they're going to park the bus, but dude, I'm excited. I'm really excited. We're gonna be pumped up when that kicks off, dude. I've been waiting for this for a very long time. I think that's why I don't want to go do a watch along today, guys. Is because I just want to enjoy the game today. It's the first game of the season. I just want to enjoy it. I'll be doing watch alongs next, probably next week. I'll be doing a match review of Wolves and Manchester United. Maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. We'll see how it goes on time. Might probably do it tomorrow. It all depends on the time today. So I'm quite busy and quite tired. Anyway, Let's stop talking about that. Let's talk about. Oh man, my drinking too much cola. Just needed some caffeine. Let's talk about some of the sale talk. If you've not watched my video this morning, there's been some news coming out about the sales talk. Sorry, I'm gonna just pull it up because I'm an idiot. So big news today coming out about Sheikh Jassim and Qatar putting a absolute massive bid in for Manchester United. Now, in my video, I said you need to take it for what it is and who these sources are. This is coming from the Mirror and it was coming from the Guardian. I trust the Guardian a bit more than the Mirror. They're both, eh, I don't know. But yes, let me go over what has been said about this Glazer announcement takeover announcement. This is the one coming from the Mirror, by the way. All right, so take it for what it is. Manchester United takeover. Glazers to announce sale at 7.2 billion after Sheikh Jassim breakthrough. The protracted sale of Manchester United looks to be finally nearing its conclusion. Some nine, 9 months. Jesus. After the Glazer family first spoke publicly about the process. A seven, I heard it was 7.3, 7.2, whatever, pennies, right? So I don't know. I Let me tell you what I think this really is. All right. Ah, God. Fucking hate these guys, man. I hate the fucking Glazers, dude. Okay. This article, because it's only coming from British press and it's coming from the Mirror and the Guardian, it hasn't been reported in any other big news outlets, is bullshit. This is all to calm down the protests. There's been there's going to be protests tonight at the Wolves game. There's been a few things I've been hearing. The one I've been hearing is that there's going to be a sit-in after the game. I think it's going to be organized by the 58. Um, so yeah, I think these types of articles we're going to start seeing come out every so often in a way for the Glazers to constantly delay and delay and delay and delay and then find a way to make it look like it's not them that's delaying it. Oh, it's Qatar. It's Sir Jim. Dude, I have no I don't know why Qatar would put in a 7.2 billion pound bid for Manchester United. Why would you bid 5 billion, and when they said they want 6 billion, you just go 7.2 billion. You go almost 2.5 million over what your last offer was. That's not exactly pennies here, guys. You can buy a whole other franchise with what he's with that whole 2.2 billion that he's offering on top of that. So I I just don't see this being a very reliable source. I don't think this is happening. I I don't know what to say anymore about this whole sale process. It's like I'm getting to the point where I don't even see it happening anymore. They're just gonna constantly put this out, stuff like this out until they get the investment they want. I don't really think they really want to leave the club, but we do deserve some clarity on this. The club, Eric Ten Hag deserves clarity. The fans deserve clarity on this, and it's just I've never seen this done even in American sports. Like I mentioned in my earlier videos like months ago that it took a long time. I like basketball. I watch the Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns are my team. Absolutely adore the Phoenix Suns. And they went through a sale process that I thought did take a long time. I think it was around 5, 6 months. And that's what I was saying. I was like, all right, guys, calm down. These are Americans. There's lots of investors. There's lots of people involved in this. So it's going to take that long. But this is like we're going to get on to a year, guys. We're 8, 9, 10 months into this now. We're getting to almost a year of them announcing that they are looking for strategic alternatives. What the hell, whatever the hell that means. So yeah, like I said, I've never really experienced this. Hold on, guys. I'm just gonna see if the team news is out. Hold on. Team news. Yes, team news is out. And is it the team that I picked? It looks like it. We've got, here we go. We'll go with the back line. Onana in net. We've got Juan Bissaka. We've got Luke Shaw, Rafael Varane, and Lissandro Martinez. In the midfield, we've got Mason Mount, Bruno Fernandez, and Casemiro. And up front, we've got Anthony, Marcus Rashford, and Garnacho. That is the exact team I predicted. I'm just gonna hold up, guys. I mean, it wasn't actual rocket science to pick that, but I mean, I think you could have, had Sancho in there. You could have maybe, I don't know, had Dallo in there. Who knows? But yeah, that is going to be your starting lineup tonight, guys. Let's go through that one more time. We've got Onana, Martinez, Mount, Bruno Fernandez, your captain, Rashford, Casemiro, Rafael Varane, Anthony Shaw, Juan Bissaka, and Garnacho. On the bench, we've got, wow, Dean Henderson. What the hell is he doing there? I guess what's his face is injured. I thought Henderson was injured as well. We got Diogo Tallo, Lindelof, Maguire. That's interesting. That's interesting that Maguire's on the bench. Ericsson, McTominay, Palestri, Martial, and Sancho. Not a terrible bench. Interesting that Maguire is on the bench. Anyone else find that interesting? I do. I find it very interesting that he is on the bench. Why would you have him on the bench, potentially put him in the game, to get injured when he is could be on the move to West Ham? Is that West Ham move now in doubt, guys? It could be. It very well could be. Um, that's very surprising. I was not expecting a Maguire on the bench. I wouldn't want to risk any players when a fee has been agreed. How can you agree a fee while they're discussing personal terms and put him on a bench to potentially get injured if you put him in the game? I don't think he will play in the game. He's probably in there as a in case four of our other guys get injured. Who knows? But it's still interesting, guys. I'd be a little bit concerned about that Maguire move to West Ham now. So anyway, yeah, not a bad team, guys. I'm looking forward to it. I'm just looking forward to Onana, man. I want to see what he does, bro. I want to see what Onana does. Anyway, guys, so we're gonna wrap it up with a Premier League review. We're just gonna talk a little bit about the stuff we saw around the Premier League this weekend. This is only the first episode, guys. I'm going to have a lot more. I'm getting like a program so we can do graphics and stuff like that. Um, I'll have better lighting and stuff. I thought it'd be better without the red lights today. You can see the flag, you can see my, football and memorabilia back here. Well, there's my pops, but I've got some this guy and another one back there somewhere. But yeah, it'll be getting better. I promise. This is just the first one. Very raw. I promise you that. I told you it was going to be very raw. But anyway, let's talk about Premier League stuff that happened over the weekend. So I just want to go and mention who I thought stood out and I thought was probably the best team I've watched all weekend so far. And that was Newcastle. Look, I kind of half jokingly put Newcastle at number 2 in my Premier League predictions. But dude, they are I hate to say this, but they're a scary team, dude. Scary team. They looked absolutely amazing. Yes, it's the first team. You know, Aston Villa, a few new players getting used to it. But man, Newcastle tore them to shreds. I think Aston Villa will bounce back and be just fine. But I really do see Newcastle doing some bits this year, guys. Their defense was absolutely solid last year, and Isak is a gem, dude. I would have loved him at the club. I don't know if I was scared about his physicality as a very skinny boy, but dude, his play is crazy. Tonali looks like a great signing. But yeah, very, very impressed with Newcastle, man. Actually, kind of blown away with Newcastle. And another player I was really impressed with, I thought had a great game was and he's a guy I wish we signed, I wish we could get our hands on, is Musa Diaby. Lovely goal against Newcastle. Unfortunately, didn't do. didn't impact the game much going forward. Again, he was getting in some bits, but just Aston Villa were not there. They were not very clinical, just not getting into their little the pockets of space they needed to. But Musa Diaby, man, what a player! Wish we signed him. Absolute speed demon, counterattack specialist, dude. I love counterattack football. Hey, it's fun. So yeah, Newcastle, very good. Um, Chelsea, Liverpool. Watch this game. It was all right. Enzo Fernandez was all right. He was probably one of the better players on the pitch. I thought I just don't know about Liverpool, which could be good. I'm saying that now, and then they probably whoop us at Anfield again. But I just don't know what's going on with their midfield. But they, like I said, they've signed Romeo Lavia this morning for 60 million, so maybe that will tie him up. But he is young, man. I don't know if he's going to be ready to fill that position just yet. And Chelsea, they were creating nice stuff. They just don't have anyone with that Nkuku injury. I just don't see them scoring that many goals. But Pochettino's a great coach. That game was all right. I think people were hyping that game up way more than it was. It was the most exciting game in my opinion. It was it's a game that I don't feel like should have been week 1. That's I don't like I see a lot of people saying this, and I'm right there with them. I'm not a huge fan of games like big games like that on week like while the transfer window is still open. I want a few weeks where they're getting fit and they can go head to head when they're at their most fit, playing well, playing good football. So it is what it is. You got to do it. There's always going to be one big game usually, and we got a big one next week. So it is what it is. But yeah, I wasn't all that impressed with Chelsea or Liverpool. I do think Chelsea look a hell of a lot better than they did last year. Um, but I don't think they're going to be I don't know. We'll see how they progress through the season, but I wasn't blown away after that performance yesterday. And then just some other random noticeable things from the Premier League over the weekend. You know, Tottenham without Harry Kane, very interesting. They what they had a draw with Brentford 2-2. Um, they were all right going forward, a bit more exciting going forward with Tottenham, but they were very open, man, and it makes me very excited for our game next week. If they're gonna play that open against us as well, we're scoring like 4 goals, bro, at least. We're gonna slice through them like bread and butter. Well, more like butter than bread, I guess. Uh, eh, yeah, they look a bit better. I do feel like they'll tighten that up, maybe play a bit more defensive when we come in, but they do look way different, going forward than they have been in the past without having Jose and Conte and the Wolves guy. What's his face? It's a nice breath of fresh breath of fresh air. Dude, I cannot speak today. This is embarrassing. So yeah, interesting stuff with what's going on with Tottenham. Not afraid of them. I think we're going to absolutely hammer them if they play like that next week. I mean, if Brentford laid 2 goals on them without Ivan Tony, just think about what we can do. And Brentford without Ivan Tony still playing pretty decent football, very physical team, very less lethal, but they're still going to be a tough team to beat. But yeah, that's my major things I've seen from the Premier League this weekend. We've seen also a few injuries as well. Tyrone Mings getting injured. I believe he might be done for a while. Looks like maybe a knee ACL injury, MCL injury. I haven't looked. I'm not a huge fan of Tyrone Mings, but I will look into what injury he does have. Has anyone in the chat, any players that stood out to you over the weekend? Any teams that you were like, damn, they look pretty good? Because for me, Newcastle, bro. Newcastle have really got something going on there. Don't know what Eddie Howe is putting in that water, but he's doing it, man. He's doing it. He could be one of the good English coaches because we don't have many. We have people that like to ruin the English coach legacy, like Frank Lampard and Gerard, really making England look like they don't know what the fuck they're doing when it comes to coaches. But it's nice to see Eddie Howe doing something, even though it's at Newcastle. But it is what it is, guys. That is all I'm going to have for you right now. So feel free to head over to your favorite uh, watch along streams if you want to do your pregame for the Wolves the Manchester United match coming up in about 50 minutes. I am going to go get some food and get ready for the game. I'll be back next week, next Monday. It will only be going better, better, and better from here. Hopefully, more people will tune in. It will hopefully grow, and I hope to grow with you guys. Anyway, I will see you next week for the football focus and for a watch along with Tottenham against Manchester United next Saturday, 5:30. We'll probably go live around 5 p.m. that day. Anyway, see you for the news. Later.